TV Crazy Man here. In this video, we look at the 1957 to 58 TV season as we count down the top 10 TV shows that year and remember this year in television, a year that was dominated by westerns. This was the year TV was without new I Love Lucy episodes. Well, except for a handful of specials called the Lucy Desi Hour. Some of these mega hit shows on the list you may not even remember at all. Find out which shows dominated the ratings and what happened to them. At number 10, You Bet Your Life, a huge hit comedy quiz show starring comedian legend Groucho Marx.
And now, here he is, the one, the only...
The show was a vehicle for Groucho's ad-libs.
Who was the barbarian conqueror known as the Scourge of God? Scourge of God. Scourge. Scourge. Scrooge. Scrouge of God. What's the difference? They don't know it anyhow. They don't know it and I can't pronounce it.
Each episode was carefully cut for broadcast to eliminate anything that would have been considered too risky for 50s television, which with Groucho was just about everything.
Why is it when you're getting, when you're sitting in a chair, the barb will ask you a question, and just as you go to answer, he slaps a hot towel on your kisser, huh? What way is your husband romantic?
Oh, man, have you ever been made love to by a Frenchman?
Not that I can recall.
The show grew in the ratings season by season, reaching third place in 1953 before gradually declining to below the top 30 in the 1958 to 59 season.
Modeled what?
Maternity clothes.
Maternity clothes.
Well, anybody can model maternity clothes.
Well, he couldn't, for example.
Big names would appear as contestants over the years, such as comedian Phyllis Diller, fitness star Jack LaLanne, and sci-fi writer Ray Bradbury. At number 9, here's one you may not have heard of, December Bride.
When the bombs are falling and the fighting begins, we want men who won't panic.
It owed its success to its time slot, where it followed the most popular show in history, I Love Lucy. It was produced by Desilu Productions, owned by Lucy and Desi Arnaz, who even made a guest appearance on the show in the 1959 episode Sunken Den. After Lucy, it followed another popular show, The Danny Thomas Show. But when it moved to another time slot, the ratings declined. December Bride had high ratings in its first 4 seasons. When CBS moved it to Thursdays in the fall of 1958, ratings fell dramatically, and the series was canceled in '59. At number 8 is the western The Restless Gun, which appeared on NBC between 1957 and 1959, with John Payne in the role of Vint Bonner, a wandering cowboy in the era after the Civil War. He was a skilled gunfighter. Bonner is also an idealist who would rather solve conflicts peacefully whenever possible.
You're a reasonable man. I try to be.
In the 1958-59 season, the show dropped off noticeably. It fell out of the top 10 and landed barely in the top 30. Western competition was high, with around 30 westerns on the air by 1959, and the star was said to be in the mood to move on after 2 seasons.
Maybe that reputation of yours ain't worth a hill of beans.
I don't know, boy. I never figured out what a hill of beans was worth.
The show had a lot of great guest stars before they were famous, like Michael Landon, Dan Blocker, Denver Pyle, and Chuck Connors, just a few months away from getting his own series, The Rifleman. If you were a kid back in the day, you might have seen this comic book at your local newsstand. It would have set you back a whole dime, though. Question is, do you get the comic, the soda, or ice cream? You might even be able to get 2 sodas with that dime.
I lost my money.
Again?
Now here's something that might shock you. Leave It to Beaver debuted this season only to be canceled by CBS before moving to ABC, where it never even made it into the top 30. But it held a steady audience, which was enough to give it a total of 6 original seasons and give us decades of successful syndicated reruns to watch. And sometimes the show's greatest success happens after the show has been canceled.
Beat it and stop being such a wise guy, will ya?
At number 7 is General Electric Theater. General Electric Theater ran from 1953 to 1962. Ronald Reagan served as the host of General Electric Theater.
For General Electric, here is Ronald Reagan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
A multitude of stars appeared on the series, including the Marx Brothers, Bud Abbott, Michael Landon, Jack Benny, and Ernest Borgnine, just to name a few of the many big-name stars that appeared. The one I find the most interesting, though, pits Ronald Reagan up against James Dean.
Tonight from Hollywood, it is my pleasure to appear in a story entitled The Dark, Dark Hours. Young James Dean, one of the bright new actors in Hollywood, appears with me.
Who plays a hood that tries to force Reagan's character to see to his injured partner in crime.
I don't even care, but if I can't be the best, I'm going to be the worst, huh?
I want you to take your hands off my wife and get out of this house.
Get out of the way.
Sure. I'll get out of the way. But you're going out of here alone, Sonny.
I don't know whether to beat you or kill you. Oh, you hit me. Why don't you hit me?
Because if I started, I don't think I could stop.
At number 6, we have yet another Western.
Wyatt Earp.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt Earp.
The series ran from 1955 to 1961. It was loosely based on the life of frontier Marshal Wyatt Earp, with Hugh O'Brien as Wyatt Earp. In the show, Wyatt carried a Colt bunt-line special, a revolver with a 12-inch barrel, which triggered a mild toy craze at the time the series was originally broadcast, even though Wyatt Earp probably never owned a pistol like that in real life. In contrast to the always ethical character portrayed in the series, the real-life Wyatt Earp was at various times on either side of the law. The show started out slow in the ratings before hitting the top 20, then the top 10, before sliding down with the decline of the Western TV boom in the last couple seasons. Years later, Hugh O'Brien returned to the role of Wyatt Earp for 2 episodes of the CBS television series Guns of Paradise, and again in 1991 in The Gambler Returns, The Luck of the Draw. An independent movie, Wyatt Earp Return to Tombstone, was released in 1994 featuring new footage of O'Brien as Earp, mixed with flashbacks consisting of colorized scenes from the original TV series.
And long may his story be told.
Hi, I'm Hugh O'Brien, and I've got a secret.
At number 5, I've Got a Secret.
Tonight, the king of the cowboys, Mr. Roy Rogers.
I've Got a Secret was a panel game show that was a derivative of the show What's My Line?
My name is Paul Newman, and I've got a secret. This be your secret to me. The folks at home are anxious to find out what it is.
Instead of celebrity panelists trying to determine a contestant's occupation, as in What's My Line, the panel tried to determine a contestant's secret, something that was unusual, amazing, embarrassing, or humorous about that person.
I think over here, Miss Lucille Ball.
The show began broadcasting in black and white and switched to color in 1966. Between 52 and 67, I've Got a Secret ranked among the top 30 television shows for 10 out of 15 seasons, peaking at number 5 this season.
What's your name, anyway?
Paladin.
Paladin, huh?
At number 4 that year, it was yet another Western, Have Gun, Will Travel. It followed the adventures of Paladin, played by Richard Boone, a gentleman investigator who also works as a gunfighter for hire. Although Paladin charged steep fees to clients who could afford to hire him, he would provide his services for free to poor people who needed his help. He is skilled in martial arts and highly educated. Paladin gives out a business card printed with Have Gun, Will Travel and an engraving of a white knight chess piece. Fun fact, Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry wrote exactly 24 episodes of this classic CBS Western. The series was rated number 3 or number 4 in the Nielsen ratings every year of its first 4 seasons. In its 5th season, it dropped down to a respectable 29th place, and then out of the top 30 in its final season.
Tales of Wells Fargo.
Another Western, Tales of Wells Fargo, comes in at number 3 in its 2nd season, which was also its first full season. The next year, it was at number 7, but then dropped down to 28th in its 4th season, and then completely out of the top 30 in its 2 final seasons, as the TV Western boom had started to fizzle out. Tales of Wells Fargo starred Dale Robertson as Wells Fargo Special Agent Jim Hardy. Agent Hardy was shown working cases in many areas of the Old West, occasionally interacting with legendary outlaws such as Jesse James and Belle Starr, as well as other American historical figures. Dale went on to host the syndicated Western Death Valley Days in 1969.
Please, audience, don't applaud. Go back, Harry. The audience loused up our commercial. This time.
At number 2, it's the long-running comedy The Danny Thomas Show. The series was originally entitled Make Room for Daddy in its first 3 seasons. This season, the show moved from ABC to CBS and was given the time slot originally belonging to I Love Lucy.
You're a pretty lucky kid to have your own room.
Well, if you're gonna be so dramatic, I'll go back.
1957 marked the first time the show ranked in the top 10. Before then, it was actually outside the top 30. It was a show that once struggled with the ratings and now was a huge hit.
'Tis a woman's... Oy vey.
People forget how popular the show was. It finished its run after 11 seasons, still in the top 10. The show starred Danny Thomas, of course, as a successful nightclub entertainer and focused mostly on his family. The series was responsible for introducing the Andy Griffith Show to a backdoor pilot episode. In the 7th season, Danny Thomas is arrested by Sheriff Andy Taylor and detained in a small town of Mayberry in an episode entitled Danny Meets Andy Griffith.
You picked on the wrong guy this time, Clem.
Name ain't Clem, it's Andy. Andy Taylor.
The episode aired on February 15th, 1960, and the Andy Griffith Show premiered later that year on October 3rd.
Well, I reckon you can tell the justice of the peace if you want to. Well, I reckon I want to.
The series also crossed over to the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour in the 1958 Lucy Desi episode, Lucy Makes Room for Danny. Can you guess what the number 1 show from 1957 to 58 was? Considering this was the Western boom, the odds are in favor of a Western. And the number 1 TV series this season was Gunsmoke.
Now, you people are going to be settling within 30 miles of Dodge City, and I don't want to hear anything about any more stuff like, oh, shucks.
It is the longest running primetime Western of all time. Gunsmoke, starring James Arnaz as Marshal Matt Dillon. And this was its first year at number 1. It also ranked number 1 in seasons 4, 5, and 6. Now in season 12, it started to fall in the rankings.
Got it.
Coming in at number 30. CBS President William Paley didn't want to cancel the show due to pressure from his wife, who loved it. And so he decided not to cancel it and gave it Gilligan's time slot.
Yahoo! Miss Man!
Get out of Dodge.
Which proved to be a great time slot for Gunsmoke, moving it back into the top 10 shows. That is until season 18. Now, of all the shows that had to be canceled, though, to save Gunsmoke, did it have to be Gilligan's Island? One of my favorite shows of all time. I mean, poor Gilligan only got 3 seasons. Gunsmoke was a great show, though. I particularly liked the first few seasons best, when the series was 30 minutes long. The shorter episodes get right to the point and have a lot less padding, but that's just my opinion. What seasons were your favorite? And just in case you were wondering, our top 10 was only primetime network shows, so it didn't count huge hits like The Adventures of Superman and The Highway Patrol, syndicated series, which were also a couple of the biggest shows of the 1950s. You see, syndicated show ratings were counted differently than network shows. If you'd like to see more on Gunsmoke, check out my Gunsmoke Goose bloopers and fun facts video I did recently. Well, if you'd like me to explore more top 10 yearly countdowns, let me know in the comments and share your memories of these classic TV shows. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and have a great day. Thanks.